Today in math, we're going to learn and understand three-dimensional shapes and what objects make three-dimensional shapes. Okay, so I'm going to start by showing you some examples. Okay, the ones we're going to get used to today are going to be the following: a cube, a rectangular prism, a sphere, a cylinder, and a cone. I went through Elise's things and I got some examples of different things you're going to see that represent these three-dimensional shapes. So the first one I'm going to show you is the cube. Okay, this is what a cube looks like on paper, but a dice would be a really good example of what a cube looks like three-dimensional. So you can see it has a square and it goes all the way around. Okay, so this is a cube. The next one I'm going to show you is a rectangular prism. So when it's on paper, it looks like this. But some examples of rectangular prisms are things like this. So I took this from Elise's play kitchen, but you can see there's a rectangle around here, but it's also 3D. Okay, so there's rectangles all around here. This is another example of a rectangular prism. Okay, it again has rectangles around and it's 3D. The last one here is a rectangular prism too. Okay, this is what a rectangular prism looks like. Then we have a sphere, and you'll probably know a sphere the best as a ball. Okay, so this is a sphere. Okay, you can kind of roll it like this. This is a sphere. It has no flat surfaces. And then we have a cylinder. And a lot of us know cylinders as a can. So again, I took this from Elise's play kitchen, but you can see a circle goes around here, but it's three-dimensional here. Okay, so this is a cylinder, so a can of soup. And then this is also another example of a cylinder. So it's round, has a circle at the base. Okay, the final one is going to be a cone, and we all know this as an ice cream cone. What makes it a cone is it has a tip at the end, and then it has a circle right here. So this is an example of a cone, and again, we know these examples to be what we see in the real world as an ice cream cone. So today's lesson is very simple and very easy. It's really understanding what these shapes are and being able to circle the object that matches the shape name. So when you take a look here, you can see the first example is a sphere. Okay, this is what the sphere looks like here. So which one of these looks like a circle all the way around with no flat edges? Would it be this one here, this one here, or this one here? Which one looks like the sphere? This right here. If you guessed a basketball, you're absolutely right. So you can just circle what it is. The next example that they give was a cube. Okay, now if I go back to what my cube looks like up here, it really looks like a dice. It's a square all the way around, right? So one thing that I can do, I can go, well, I know this one is not a square, so I can X that out. So what I'm stuck with now are these two choices, right? But when I look, this has the shape of a rectangle. So this would be a rectangular prism, not a cube. A cube, again, has the same shape all the way around, a square all the way around. So that leaves me with my last choice of a cube, which is a dice, okay? So I'm going to give you about 10 seconds or so just to take a look at the next page that we have, because again, it's going to be recognizing these shapes with a picture of real life objects, okay? So let's take a look at the next examples, and I'll just place this right on top, okay? So you can kind of still see all the choices that we have, okay? So take a second and think, which shape is a cylinder here? Which shape is a rectangular prism here? And which shape is a cone? Some shapes might have more than one to choose, because it does say circle the objects, which means there can be more than one, right? That S means more than one, but it doesn't have to be. So think about that as you are thinking about the answers to numbers 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so let's go over them. So a cylinder, remember a cylinder is what kind of looks like a can of soup or a canned good. Which ones look like that? This one looks like a cylinder. So if you guess that one, you are correct. The rectangular prism, remember these are, it can be boxes. Okay. 3D boxes here. Which one looks like a box? You guessed this one, you're right. But you'll also notice there's another choice, and this is the other choice that I have. So this one had 2. Okay? And finally, a cone, and this one's super easy because I think about ice cream cone. Which one looks like an ice cream cone? Looks like this. One. If you guessed this one, you are correct. And if you guessed this one, you are correct. You're going to have some work to do independently, which is just like the activity that we did. Okay? So go ahead and get started on that. Happy math time.